Welcome to the Friday Underground stream. You're going to have a great time, a glorious time. True story, plenty of laughs, some black pill moments. It's a fun balance of serious topics and insanely funny stuff. Really wonderful people on this panel. Enjoy.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Friday Underground stream. Sorry we were a few minutes late today, but we got some pretty good topics we're going to be talking about. But we'll do something fun, and then we'll do something spicy because we got footage on the spicy stuff too. But I want to welcome my co-host Chris, the Legend Fisk. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, glad it's Friday, and we got some cool stuff to talk about. So looking forward to that.
Absolutely, man. I'm looking forward to it as well because we didn't cover it last week, but now we could talk about 2 episodes of Shogun, and what a great series so far. Beautiful stuff. But Helly, man, thanks for being here. And I know, the panel it's a little bit smaller today. A lot of the guys are over at the convention, and I know, Tina Bojan, she can't make it tonight, so that's all right. No worries. I know sometimes we got to work. We got to do the stuff we got to do. We do have Brutal Morningwood in the house. Hey, Brutal.
Hey, thanks for the invite.
He's dissing my girl. Why do they got a front? What did we ever do to these guys that made them so violent? What us? Woohoo! But you know I'm yours. Woohoo! And I know you're mine. Woohoo! And that's for all time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we're gonna have some presidential. The president say the darndest things. We'll have a little bit more of that segment.
Yeah.
You guys seem to have enjoyed it last week, and we got a couple of bangers coming up. So it'll be fun. It'll be crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, if I make it to Rumble, dude, I got to tell you what I saw with the late breaking stuff over in the Russian City Hall.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, YouTube's been kind of like shit lately for some reason. I don't know. I got something for that too later. But let me say hello to the folks out there. Toy Mafia was the first one in tonight. How you doing, buddy? Followed by Iceman Modeler. Hey, buddy. Yeah. Oh boy. Don't worry. We're gonna be hitting some stuff for sure. Told that I did drop you a link if you are free. So swing on by if you could. The chat finally loaded. Oh, I guess YouTube is causing more problems. I know last night while we were doing the toy stream on Tommy's end, he was seeing a lot of messages that weren't coming through. YouTube was messing with Papa Cotton again and a couple other people. It was crazy. I don't know. They're it's getting more ridiculous is what it is. So Tina, she's working and lurking. Hey Tina, hope you're doing well tonight, and don't overwork, Drop the hammer if you got to drop it. Brutal was saying hi to folks as well. Splash pants. Oh, shit. Keely Chow, what's up, buddy? Good seeing you, Keely.
Hey.
Oh, man. Good early morning from Hong Kong. Oh, wow.
Yeah. Ni hao ma.
Yeah, what Chris said. Ni hao ma. I feel like the Anjinin. Yeah, and stuff. Do you have a pheasant? A fucking putrid pheasant. We'll be talking about that.
I don't understand anything you just said.
Oh man, I love whenever that guy curses back at some of them and they can't understand the word he's saying, and he's bowing and he's like, "You piece of excrement, you."
Yeah, dude, her husband's a piece of shit. I'm sorry, he was a badass in the 4th episode. He's a piece of shit in the 5th one.
Yeah. They keep doing that with this character. It's like you hate him, you like him, you hate him again.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into it. It's gonna be cool. Let's see if there's anyone else. Yeah, Marinus, you should have a link as well if you are free. All right. He's got an early morning. All right, yeah, no problems, man. But yeah, I hope you're having a good one. Let me pull up the title card. Yeah. So we're clearly we're going to be talking about a few things here. We're going to be talking about Beetlejuice 2. They dropped the teaser trailer. Yeah. The teaser looked excellent. I had no problem.
Dude, I'm stoked.
You know,
the juice is loose.
Yeah, I mean, and I heard Keaton said that this was the most fun he said he's had on a film set in like 20 to 25 years.
Wow.
So, something tells me, yeah, he really let loose because he said he's been wanting to do this character and do the sequel for a couple of decades now, and he was waiting on Tim Burton. He's like, "Oh, no, you're gonna do it? Like, come on, So,
come on. Yeah, that's great. That's great
for you.
But yeah, we're gonna play the trailer later too for those who've missed it or haven't seen it yet. I'm not gonna do it on YouTube because obviously YouTube are China asshole, you know. Yeah, same deal there. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about it. A little invasion. We got some clips too of that invasion if you guys have not seen it, and Congress dancing the fucking conga line while this is going on. It's amazing stuff, folks. You wouldn't believe it unless you've seen it with your own eyes. And yeah, I'm going to be showing you. So it's nuts. But yeah, let's break into a little bit of Shogun. Yeah, Chris. Yeah, this is what episodes 4 and 5.
Yep.
Yeah, 4 and 5. Yeah, excellent stuff. We get to see a little bit of well, basically, we had our main Englishman. This guy, he gets awarded a new title.
Yep.
He gets some land, and he has his own kind of concubine chick there. The one woman who was going to off herself.
Yep.
Was that the one that was married to the guy who stepped up in the dojo?
Yes, that's exactly what it was. She lost her son and her husband in that stupid little move.
Yeah. Wow. And yeah, I like her. She's a good actress.
Yeah, I like her too.
You know,
the character's awesome too.
Yeah, her character's really good. And from someone who is going to offer herself to being this kind of mousy, quiet chick to then like willing to stand up and defend the Englishman in a way that was like, oh my God, like she's pulling a hand cannon out on another samurai dude.
Yeah. Well, that's because she's like that's part of the hierarchy of feudal Japan is like if you like an oath breaker is worse than death. Like, you know, death before dishonor and all that stuff. Yeah. So she has made an oath, sworn servitude to Anjin or the, Blackthorn. And whatever he says, she has to do because of that oath.
Yep.
So, yeah, dude, she it's a shame that we've lost some. Like, I understand the rigidity of it and there is some flaws in the system.
Oh, yeah.
But the idea that, like, you'd rather die than break your word is kind of a romantic thing that I kind of miss.
Yeah, because oh my God, we really see it in the following episode.
Yeah,
and they really hammer that point that what you say it's more than etched in stone. You know, it's pretty amazing what they did, and I'm thoroughly impressed with this series. And again, I know the original was back in the '80s, and we had some really great actors that were involved in that one too. I forgot Jonathan Rhys Davies was in it. Gimli. Yep. I saw him. I'm going to do a side note for a second. I saw him. He did an interview with Michael Rosenbaum. You know, Chris, one of your people.
Lex Luthor.
Yes. From time to time, like I'll catch a couple of his episodes. I used to watch him when he first started, and he had some pretty good interviews with folks. But there's a few people I did not care for in his interview stuff, so I kind of fell off. But if there's a couple of people I enjoyed, I'll watch and I'll listen. And he had Jonathan Rhys Davies on, and again, he was in Indiana Jones. He played Gimli in Lord of the Rings for those
Sliders.
Sliders. I remember that one.
Isn't it ironic No, isn't it ironic that he played Gimli the dwarf when he's like Etep's height? He's like 6'3".
Yeah, he's a big dude. Yeah, he was at that convention that I was at.
Oh shit!
I missed him though. I wanted to see where the hell he was, and I didn't get a chance to talk to him. But we also have Tolbat in the house. What's up, buddy? You're muted.
Hey man, how you doing?
There
Thanks
you
for
are.
having me on today.
Dude, of course, buddy.
The mute button.
Yeah. I saw you in the chat. I'm like, oh, let's drop him a link, man. Yeah, it's always awesome having you on. And we're gonna be hitting like some border stuff in a little bit. But I'm gonna tell the story of Jonathan Rhys Davies and what he had said, because he was asked. He goes, "Was it true that you guys got like almost the whole cast got dysentery on Raiders of the Lost Ark?" He goes, "Was it true?" He goes, "Well, first of all, he goes, everyone knows the famous scene with the whip and Harrison was supposed to have a big battle with this guy in the whip, but he was shitting himself continuously. So he just goes, hey, Steven, do you mind if I just pull out the gun and I shoot this towel head?" And Steven was like, "Harrison, like, I don't know, like, there's a whole bunch of the script we got to do here, and like, I had this big scene I want to film, and I'm shitting myself again. Can I just shoot him?" So then Steven eventually was like, "Yeah, let's just film it." So he filmed it. First take, that was enough. And he goes, boom, just like that. 3 pages of dialogue and 2 weeks of fight sequence out the window. And it worked. It was good. And then he goes, there's a part where Steven asked Jonathan to, like, they just filmed the scene. He goes, "Could you do it one more time? And could you get a little bit, like, lower and then come towards the camera?" So he goes, "I proceed to bend over, and as I do in front of 200 extras and cast and crew, I proceed to fill my britches." And he goes, "And I felt no embarrassment whatsoever. I just felt relief. And then I start to get tunnel vision. Everything begins to spin." He goes, "And the next thing I remember, I'm awake in my little hotel room, and it's a dingy, dark hotel room. And every morning I'd wake up, I'd see ants crawling along the bedside. Well, this time I woke up and I saw ants crawling across my thigh. And then I looked down and I'm surrounded by vomit and my own feces." And he goes, "Good Lord, are you going to take me yet? I'm dying. I know I'm dying." And then he goes, "I hear a knock at the door, and the door swings open before I could even respond. I can't even move." And he goes, "And I hear the sweet, lovely voice of our Australian doctor." And she goes, "Do you got a toilet anywhere in here?" And she runs to the toilet and she proceeds to vomit uncontrollably. And I go, "Oh, great. Even the woman who's supposed to be aiding us is dying. This is hell."
Well, dude, everybody I know that's ever visited India or Pakistan, like, there's so much, like, unsanitary, like, the bacteria there.
Oh, God.
It's like drinking Mexican water. Like, just, like, if you move from, like, a civilized place, and yes, I don't care, sue me, to one of these, like, third world areas, the acclimation period consists of, like, horrific dysentery, violent diarrhea, and major dehydration for, like, months on end. Everybody I know that's been to, like, India or Pakistan has said the same thing.
Yeah, apparently, there was one person who did not get deathly ill. Can you guess?
Oh, damn! Come on, Kamal Nanjiani.
No, Steven Spielberg.
Well, that's because our people are used to the desert.
No, he goes, because Steven, when he arrived there, he brought about 3 to 4 suitcases filled with canned food.
Yep, and bottled water.
He pulled the McFartland. He literally was eating canned tuna fish, and other things. And he was like a mouse the way he was eating. Like he'd crank it open. He'd have a special utensil, and he would just eat what he has to, and that's it. He was eating like a bird. He said. He goes, everyone's dying, everyone's deathly sick. He goes, and as we're getting a little bit better, he goes, we get to a restaurant or something, and I guess the guilt got to him, and he had ordered lamb, overcooked lamb, and when it came to the table, he started dissecting it, and then playing with it, and I did not see him put it to his lips once. He was just pretending that he's eating with them.
Well, yeah, it's the third world, dude. Like it's just gross. Like
yeah, it's unbelievable. He knew, he was tipped off, and he didn't warn anybody.
Dude,
and,
one of my good friends worked for I can't say the company, but he went over to India. I think he was in New Delhi or whatever, and they had to take a train to from one city to their outsourcing place.
Yeah,
and he's like, dysentery. I gotta go blow ass or whatever. He's on the train. And everybody just directs him to the caboose. He runs beelines it to the caboose, and it was an empty car. And when he opened it up for the bathroom, all it was a empty car with a circular hole in the floor and 2 orange spray painted footprints on each side. So all of his diarrhea went on the train track.
Oh my god! Yeah, that's disgusting.
Yeah,
that is gross.
I'm sorry.
I know this place in Europe, it's the same deal. There's still a place they don't even have toilets. It's a hole in the floor, like you said, a place for your feet, and handles on either side of you, essentially.
Yeah.
For those who don't have strong leg strength. It's just
come on, man.
Exactly. Just like
hey, Jill, am I doing this right? Am I doing this right, Jill? Hey, I'm on. Is this Fox News?
We're gonna have a moment later for good old Bidenism.
What?
The president said the darndest things. Yeah, we did. It's a brand new segment we did last week.
Not touch that woman.
Oh man, what? Yeah. It's gonna get fun, folks. It's gonna get fun. But we'll get back to the show because again, we're kind of short on time today. Sorry, I was a little bit late. But we're gonna jump on over and continue talking about Shogun first. And so I mean, there were some pretty cool and key things that happened. Blackthorn, he thought that the deal he pretty much had made with Toranaga was that he get his ship and his men, and that he could leave after he trains them or whatever. And that was not necessarily the deal.
Yeah, he's a prisoner for life.
Pretty much. He's been given a higher status and a place to live, but he's pretty much like a glorified prisoner. But there's still respect there. I mean, from what we're kind of seeing and what's going on. As this man's sort of learning the culture a little bit, and there was a whole lot of confusion amongst things. And again, your word means everything, and you can't even joke. Because there is a part where he gets given a gift of a pheasant, and he was going to do something with it. And he's like, well, there's a certain way to prepare it. And he goes, he wanted it to be a couple of days hanging up outside his place. And everyone's like, it's just going to rot. Like, what are they? It's going to smell in a day or two. He's like, no one touched this. And then he said it in Japanese. If anyone touches it, death to the person who touches it. And they're all looking at him like, what? He's like, yeah. And he just kind of says it dismissingly, and he just kind of walks away. And later that comes back and kind of it bites him in the ass, sort of.
Yeah, it's like, you killed the old guy, the old gardener, just because he took down the pheasant. He's like, I was gonna give him a reward for just climbing up there and getting it.
Yeah, he's so old. He's like, yeah, this man needs a trophy.
But there is one good, so it's kind of a sad way to look at it, but it works in Toranaga's favor because his untrustworthy lieutenant there, who he'd ordered back to the city to pledge allegiance to Ishido, or Toyotomi or whatever the hell, he basically that guy was trying to ferret out the spy in the village, and that guy's son is either incompetent or is kind of in on it. He's like, whatever, dude. Like, I'm not going to ferret out my, spies. Like, everybody in this village, whatever. And when the old guy dies, they end up pinning the old guy's, the dead old guy as the spy. When Toranaga said, well, then you must produce another spy.
Yeah. Yes. So yeah, he essentially becomes a fall guy. So it sounds like I don't know. It was a bit of a perfect storm for a good opportunity to
Yeah, I wonder if they'll explore the Tatarigami thing. Like, if you recall, there was a scene where when the pheasant was rotting and there's all the flies and stuff,
Mhm.
and the badass samurai dude that survived, with the Ronin or whatever, and he's like, "It's like this house belongs to a Tatarigami." What Tatarigamis are basically like calamity demons. Like,
Okay.
yeah, and like whenever they're basically like a combination of a ghost, a demon, and an evil god.
Uh-huh.
Somehow, like if you were to like mix it all together,
Well, kind of like
and
Beetlejuice.
well, yeah, it's like a former living person can become a Tatarigami, but there are demons or Tatarigami that were never humans. And the whole point of them and why they were mentioned, I thought that was really badass, was that they are supposed to be harbingers of very ill fortune. And what happened after the old guy died and Blackthorn goes to Toranaga, like, dude, what the hell? You just killed, this is messed up.
Mhm.
And it's like out of nowhere, bam, this earthquake hits, swallows up the village, kills practically everybody. And it's like, see, you got a Tatarigami.
That was crazy. That was a crazy scene. But I mean, they kind of gave it to you in the episode right before it, because he's never been in an earthquake, Blackthorn.
Yeah.
And when it happens, it was just like a little tremor. So Mariko, she says that she goes, yeah, it's like get used to it because that's why our houses are built like this, so they could collapse easily. Then you could build them just as easily.
I remember when I was a Shogun. It wasn't quite so long ago. I was very famous.
I am itching to play some of the ones I have here, but I can't yet because we're still on YouTube. But it's going to be great. It's going to be glorious, tremendous. But yeah, it was pretty cool. Yeah, because the previous episode, essentially, they want to know what like his battle strategies are, and because they already had muskets and stuff from the Portuguese and Spanish.
Yep, the non-bond trade.
Yeah, so they know how to work these things. Like, so what could you teach us? And because he wasn't in any glorious or amazing battles, but he's aware of a lot of stuff in history. But the thing he is good at, again, because he's a captain of a ship and everything, he knows how to work those cannons.
Yeah, well, they were rifled cannons too.
Yes,
because they were saying like cannons aren't accurate. They just, if it hits something, then that's like a roll of the die. And he was able to like pinpoint every target.
Yeah, that was an amazing scene because they're sitting there talking. Yeah, and the one dude, what the hell was his name again? He was sort of playing both sides a little bit, but he's more on the Toranaga side.
Yeah, the guy that has the nephew that runs the village.
Yeah, because like he says it that they're talking. They're like, yeah, you can't get precision with cannons. And as he says it, he has them. He lined everything up perfectly. He's got like his floating little compass thing there to make sure everything was perfectly aligned. And boom, he hits a target, and there's like two other targets behind it, and went right through all of them. He did it like 4 or 5 times in a row, and they're sitting there looking at each other like, holy shit, how did he do that?
No, what got really messed up though was, they're like, the bullets don't hit back. Like when they started using it against human targets, and it was so scary how accurate they like cut through that horse. Like when the cannon like obliterated that dude.
Well, yeah,
it went right through the horse, right into the guy, and then in the next episode they were just picking up chunks of people.
Dude, the brutality that they showed at the end of that episode, I was not expecting that. I was impressed. And speaking of impressed, hey man, we got Adam in the house.
Hey.
So I have to update you. Kevin Nash is not here. He was so scared I was going to ask him to stand up that he'd blow a quad. He didn't come.
Oh wow, he canceled.
Family emergency. Being serious, all joking aside, yeah, he had canceled for a family emergency. So
damn,
I don't know what, because we drove and everything, made it safe. Pete and the guys just took off to go over to the con for a bit. We decided to eat and stretch since we left at 10 o'clock this morning, got here about 4:30, and it's 5:30 now. So and running around with a 2-year-old's fun, but I'm getting too old for this shit.
Yeah.
But no, I wanted to jump on, it's like, well, you guys are going, and well, I'm just kind of chilling and relaxing, and hi, how are you? Because I'm stoned and
hey,
happy.
buddy.
So
Yeah, no, yeah, dude. Happy that you made it safe. You guys are doing good. And yeah, I saw a couple of the videos too. Yeah, you with the grandkid and your daughter, and I'm glad. Yeah, you guys are gonna have a good time.
Oh yeah, man. Dude, there was the construction, and here's the best part: we beat Pete.
Nice.
It took him a wee bit longer, but there was construction, and like we went around it, and then caught the tail end of it. I don't know if he did or not, but
Okay.
yeah, remember he's like 3.5 hours north of where I was to start. So
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. I still beat him. So at least
That's
I
good.
might not beat him in Mario Kart, but I beat him to Ohio in a hotel.
Adam threw a shell out the
That's
window.
Hey, Adam. I remember I got stoned once in Lebanon. They dug a hole and they threw stones at my head. Yeah.
But he didn't inhale.
But
Just
he didn't.
like Bill.
No, he didn't. But yeah, we were just talking about the Shogun episodes, and wow, man, they did some great stuff on this.
Yep.
So the Ushido, he sends his guys there, and because they want their loyalty, and they know what happened was pretty much like treason, and they're expecting Toranaga and his people, like, they're supposed to be wiped out essentially, because they want him off the board so that they're gonna replace him, and they have their little power unit of 5 again, that they're all gonna be under Ishido. But Toranaga is like, yeah, he ain't gonna let that happen. But his son, he kind of instigates and ignites essentially war. And yeah, they were supposed to give a demonstration. So the guy was sort of playing both sides, because he was friends with both of them. Let's be fair, but he's kind of more leaning towards Toranaga, and because he is wise and he knows what he's doing. But right now he's still kind of like, it could go either way for him. But Toranaga's son, he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna get a demonstration, all right. And the other guys, his son kind of convinced him over Saki, and that guy was being manipulated by the chick he's banging. Yep. And you see that again in the following episode, so you can see how it works in the political games that are involved. How again they use women like they do in most history to drop poison in certain people's ears, and then from there it spreads. Just like a virus.
But yeah, women are subtle. Like they don't have the physical force of men, so they have to manipulate.
Of course, and it's funny too because then you find out at the end of that other episode, like you're manipulating on another level.
Yeah,
that was crazy. But so yeah, this one, Toranaga's son, he decides to give him a lesson. All right, and they have this big demonstration. And they used a chain shot. It wasn't just the regular cannons. So yeah, he starts yelling orders to everyone to get like his men to get on the opposite side. And basically Yoshido's men were like, huh, what's going on here? And they just fire the cannons out from a distance. You can't even see the cannons.
Nope.
And they just explode and rip apart. Like Chris was saying, the guy's horse, his limbs, his men, they were like, 15 guys that just got like obliterated.
Yeah, just pieces of them.
Yeah. And then and the one guy who was sent there, like the head of the pack, he was like, this is savagery, and he's missing both of his legs, one of his arms, and like his bloody stumps are just like hanging there. He's screaming in pain, and Toranaga's son he comes down with the blade and like takes his head off or whatever. And that's how they ended that episode. I was like, holy shit, that was awesome.
Well, like when I first saw that, I was like, oh man, this is where Toranaga's son like just basically screwed over Toranaga. Like this is gonna get real bad. Mm-hmm. And then you learn later on, this is how much of a badass Toranaga is. He's playing 4D chess. Yeah. He's like, my son did exactly what needed to be done. Like he feigns, he's all upset with his son. He's like, how dare you force their hand, blah blah blah. And then he's like, well, come to think of it, if we ever did go to war with these assholes and they're all sequestered in their walled cities, we'll never be able to defeat them, but we can if we draw them out and then, do the math on them and just, kind of drip them apart when they come in or come out.
Sure. Yeah. I like he plays the long game, but he also has really great tactics. And it's the whole thing with like his hawk too. Like, and he gives like a lesson to his son about that, about the lore. that brings them back, because he throws his hawk, and you see it like it flies off in the distance. Then he spins the lure, the bait that he has there, and you see how fast it came back. And he's like teaching his son that yes, all men, you could lure them in. It's like a certain type of person that is smarter than that or whatnot. Like he's teaching his son but scolding him at the same time. Which is, again, it's pretty good how they did it. Like the story is playing out really well. I really enjoyed that. And then the other side with Blackthorn, like he does end up he bangs Mariko. Yeah, which was good, because the way that they set it up too, they made it look like this shit ain't gonna happen, and it's almost like the quiet one who's gonna off herself is kind of like she's getting respect for him. And you see they trade items. Like she gives her father's samurai swords to him, and he gives like his best pistols to her. And she's like, "What the hell am I gonna do with these?" Like, he's like, I'll train you. Oh, that's my finest weapon. There, it's that one belongs to me. I really treasure that one. So like he's you can see his attachment to this thing. But later in the episode, it's he gets She comes through. She points the pistol that she's given.
Yes, she does.
At the ones that are being dicks to him, and like they're trying to be like, oh, now he's got swords. Like, what does he think he is? And
well, did you catch the bit about the swords? Like, they're actually like that. It shows you how superficial like Japanese or Asian cultures are, and it's kind of sad because it was like everybody was in on the joke except for her. Yeah, and it's like, that's a terrible way to live. I'm sorry, but maybe I'm just Western biased, because I believe in honesty and being forthright. But like basically these swords that she gave Blackthorn, she believed that they were this family heirloom, this great heirloom of her grandfather or whatever, who died valiantly on some battlefield. Yeah. And it turns out that her grandfather was a pussy, and he died begging for his life and got cut down. And then his dad, basically, or her dad, his son, ended up just buying a bunch of shitty swords from some drunken Ronin or masterless samurai for like a couple of buckets of rice. Yeah. So they were just shit swords. Like, and she thought that they were sad. Because she was told that they were like a special item or whatever, and they're not. Yeah. And like you said, they're all in on it, but it's out of respect for her, so she doesn't feel stupid or whatever kind of thing. But at the same time, you are being disrespectful, and everyone knows, but her. So it's like, that's almost evil. And then later in the episode, there's that mudslide that happens, and Toranaga gets pulled into it, and they're all go running down. He's the first one who runs down the mountain to try to save him in the sun, and they dig him out, and it looks like he's lifeless, and Blackthorn keeps hitting him on the back until like dirt and shit comes out of his mouth. He's breathing, but he can't find his swords now. And if he's supposed to be like a leader or whatever, he needs his swords. So the first thing Blackthorn does is take those junky, horrible swords, and he gives it to him as a gift. And it's the same thing too, because Toranaga, like, he knows. For all he knows, Blackthorn has no idea about the history of the blade. Yeah. He was told by Mariko. So as he's looking at him, he's like, he's been given a gift that he has no idea that these are pieces of shit. But yet he's willing to offer it to me because he knows I'm not supposed to be without a sword for any moment. And you see that respect and that awesome bond that they're already, like, they still kind of have. Even though he's a prisoner, he's still going above and beyond for him, which was cool. That was cool to see. I wish I could remember. Like, I know the historical names of the characters, but because this is historical fiction, like, I keep forgetting. Like for example, the scumbag guy with the nephew that's trying to ferret out the spy. Yeah, I believe so. When I studied the whole Sengoku era and all that nerd shit for like Assassin's Creed and for other stuff, like that is basically this guy Kobayakawa, who was kind of a douchebag who ended up during the Battle of Sekigahara, which was like the pivoting, like the turning point of the warring age. Basically, it's what gave Tokugawa Ieyasu the edge. Was Kobayakawa was supposedly loyal to Toyotomi, who I believe is a Shido in this. And about midway through the battle, he's like, nope! And he just changes sides to Tokugawa, or in this case, Toranaga. Yeah.
It's crazy. They're so good though. Like I said, this whole cast, man, they're killing it. And Yabu, I think that's his name on the show.
That's pretty cool. I can relate to having a cheap yard sale crap being my valued family heirlooms. Like I was saying, that's pretty much all that my father left me was my nasty attitude and a house full of yard sale crap.
Bubby, Hunter,
The golden crack pipe.
Yeah, the finest crack pipe yard sale money can buy.
Holy
Hunter.
shit. Well, I'm
What do you
gonna.
want, Jill? I'm on the Fox News Underground Friday or something.
I'm gonna grab the link here because I know Chris is gonna have to leave soon, and I want him to play what he wanted to play. So, or give that info. So, I hit it. Put in the wrong thing. Let me put it in the chat for everybody out there. Here's the Rumble link. So yeah, folks, please grab that one because I'm gonna close out YouTube so we can jump to the other stuff and give Chris a few minutes at least, and then we're gonna get into the spicy stuff for sure. But yeah, man. Again, the Shogun's been amazing, and I want to get more in depth with it too. Maybe on Sunday we'll do a little bit of that. It depends. I don't because last Sunday we did the Resident Evil 5 stuff, and that was a blast. And Etep said that when he comes back, if he's not too tired, maybe we'll do it again and continue where we left off, pretty much. Well, I got past the guy with the chainsaw and the potato sack on his head, so. We'll be picking up right after that. But yeah, it'll be fun. So all right, I'm gonna close out the YouTube portion. Bye.
What do you mean?